A wonderful good day and a warm welcome to a new and another video. Today we're taking a closer look at DOT. A trailer, not just any regular car, as you can clearly see here. And specifically we're focusing on the trailer here. It's an ALKO axle. ALKO trailer, ALKO axle, however you prefer to refer to it now. We're going to replace the brake shoes because, as you can see here, the old ones are in really poor condition. The ones on the left side I already replaced. There's basically no lining left on them. I'm not focusing on that. So this is what it looks like. And so that was actually inside the drum. And on the other side, the adjuster is fixed there, and I'll walk you through it step by step. That's exactly what we'll do on the other side. And this is what the new ones look like. Yeah, the problem with the trailers, even though it's an ALKO axle, is sometimes getting the brake shoes out. That's why it's really recommended with brake shoes, trailers. It rarely works out, not at all, with chassis numbers or vehicle VIN codes. You usually compare the brake shoes, how they look. That's why it's recommended to always remove them first. Really take a look, see what's broken on yours, what you have there, or check what kind of brake shoes you have so you don't accidentally order the wrong ones. Yes, what's all included in this set? We went with the all-inclusive package, but I'll take you over here for a quick closer look. So this is what it all looks like. Feather, everything reordered, just to be safe. The only thing that's not included here is the fine adjuster, but it should be able to be sourced without any major issues or complications at all, really. Oh, and the plates. The plates are included too, since I saw ones already missing from below. So that's what it looks like. We'll redo the whole thing. First, we'll open it up properly and take a good look at it. That's because it happened on the DOT. Left side. There's no coating left there at all. It completely fell apart and broke into pieces everywhere. The cables were moving smoothly, and either someone was driving with the brake engaged for an extremely long time, or there probably wasn't much coating left on the surface anymore either. That it might have even been incorrectly adjusted, but there's also a video coming up on that. And so here you can see the thickness of the pad, when it's essentially brand new. And honestly, there really wasn't much material left at all. Oh. If you want to remove the brake drum, zrenia, it's important that you release the adjuster. Because the shoes are kind of pre-tensioned right now, and we need to relax them a little, so to speak, so we can get the drum over the shoes. Sometimes you're lucky and can remove it without needing to release it at all, which is great. Sometimes bad luck, then you'll need to release it at least once. The issue we're dealing with here is that the adjuster is so firmly stuck that we couldn't manage to release it in that way at all. That's why I hope you can see here, it's really stuck tight. And I hope that we can unscrew it now and manage to get the drum out this way. Otherwise, you have to use a bit of force, wiggle it back and forth, maybe release the springs beforehand so you can possibly get it out with the jaws. But you should actually begin by loosening the gear here, and then the drum should slide over the jaws smoothly and without any trouble at all, really. Yes, and this is what it looks like. Both brake shoes here, and as you could see, I had to knock it all down because we have the issue that this adjuster doesn't turn at all. And it's either corroded, very likely. Let's take a good look at it right away. We'll go ahead and take the whole thing apart now. On the back, it looks like this. That's just a small plate on the rear side. Then you push it in like this, so that you can remove the small plate easily. Then you can take off the little plate and remove the spring. That's how the whole thing is designed. Right on the other side, it's a bit more complicated because you have the axle in the back that gets in the way, but it still functions properly, so no worries. Up here is the adjuster. We'll need that right now to take a look and see what's going on with it. So the tensioner must absolutely not be as tight as it was just now when we took a closer look at it. We need to make sure everything functions smoothly now. This gear should be able to turn very easily inside here without any resistance at all. It has to sit very loosely in here. We'll clean it up properly. And then I'll show you how it works. And here you can see how corroded it is. We need to sand it all down now so that it slides in smoothly, works properly, and the gear can turn without any issues or resistance at all. No problem whatsoever. So that basically means cleaning everything in here with sandpaper and also from the outside. And now you can take a look at the whole thing. It has to be really smooth here and move freely without any resistance. The gear must rotate really smoothly and effortlessly without any issues. I made sure to grease everything up really well here. I already cleaned everything thoroughly. There's a little bit of grease dripping down right now. Really greased everything up nicely. The purchase link is down in the video description. Now that we've got this part underneath and we turn this gear here, the whole mechanism should rotate smoothly and effortlessly from the back with no issues. So that we can adjust everything properly. Before, it was completely not functional at all. There's a slit here right now, so essentially it points downward because the brake shoe rests here. So it's just as important to make sure that the rope is functioning properly for you. That when you move this here, it also shifts back and forth at the axis on your end. Wait, that the rope here also moves back and forth. That's very, very important because it doesn't help to install new brake pads because they'll burn out completely. We'll of course do that as well. Make sure it moves smoothly. Of course, install everything back properly, ensure it moves smoothly, and grease it up really well. Here, all the spots where the pads make contact, you can also give it a little lube here. And it's really important after you've worked with grease that you make sure you don't get any greasy fingers or oil on the brake pads here, so you don't accidentally smear or transfer any unwanted residue or contaminants onto them. And it's important, if you do get something on there, to sand it down with sandpaper. But we'll have all that set up in a moment. I've pre-assembled it like this for now. And then I'll attach the whole thing here. And now, once we've got everything securely in place, we'll attach the small flap at the back and insert the new spring. You can of course use the old ones, but it's generally recommended to choose the new ones instead. First, it's much easier to reassemble everything, and you just don't know when they'll eventually stop working on you. When they break, the jaw can come loose, get misaligned, and that's just very, very annoying and a real hassle to deal with afterward. Then align it properly once more. Clean the drum thoroughly, and after that, we can carefully reattach the drum in its position. So it really has to go on very smoothly, not with any force. If it doesn't go on for you now, then either you have a problem with the rope, because if you completely loosen the adjuster, the only other possibility is that the rope is simply too short for you. Either the pole was bent, the ropes got stuck, or the rope was set incorrectly, and that's why it ended up too tight. That has to be really smooth and even. Then we can tighten the nut, which is crucial. It needs to be set to exactly 280 to 300 Newton meters. And after that, we proceed with the next step. Here you can now take a look at the new sheet metal from the side. The problem is attaching the sheet metal on the other side. That's why you need such a small rod magnet. It is highly recommended to organize the whole thing so that you can effectively and securely hold the sheet metal firmly in its proper place and position while working. So you can hold it steady here and then position the spring on the other side. So that's what it looks like on the side. Now it's really important that we adjust the period. Break. It's all perfectly even now. Down here we've got a dot, hole, and inside there's a tooth. Sandra's taking a look at the tooth for us right now. We'll need to. Turn it slightly to get everything properly adjusted and perfectly aligned. I think we need to go the other way, downward. Once you have it secured and the drum doesn't move, then I always do it to loosen just one notch. That should be enough. It needs to turn really smoothly. All right, folks, and that's pretty much how it could look when you're replacing the brakes on a trailer like this. Feel free to drop a comment below and let us know what kind of trailer axles you have. I'd be curious to hear from anyone who's done the replacement or adjustment themselves. You'll find all the purchase links conveniently listed in the video description below. Bye. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Bye now.